What do you think you know about Minecraft? Oh, you think it's an awful looking game with no story? Well then there's no need to watch any more of this video, because you know everything. That is unless you were totally wrong, of course, and in fact there is a dark story underneath the pixelated surface. A secret story, hidden by the developer of mental health problems and drug abuse. But to get to the bottom of this, we're going to have to dig a little deeper. Now, before I get too far into messing with your mind, I'm going to assume that after you watch this video, you're going to go to your favourite huge Minecraft channel and tell them that the child-friendly game they're playing has actually got a darker story. What I ask is that you mention you saw it on this channel, Roley Videos. That way it's harder for people to rip off information from my videos and claim they never saw them. And for that, I will say thanks in advance. So, seeing as the game doesn't spell out what the story is, let's start with what we know. Minecraft is a sandbox game, which, if you're unfamiliar with the term, means it's like flat-pack IKEA furniture, as in it's up to you to build your own shit. But unlike IKEA's model of sell 'em awful cheap shit meatballs, then sit back and watch them struggle to find their way out the store because we hid the fucking exit sign, Minecraft's sandbox experience isn't just a cheap gimmick, it's actually a powerful tool. The decision to let anyone delve into the Minecraft world at their own pace is a vital key to the game's immense success. By giving the controls and the path you take to you, the player, allows absolutely anyone from the screaming YouTube babysitters, "Last time!
We're playing Minecraft, guys, it's so much fun, it's always fun, it's always fun, it's never gonna not be fun, it's so much fun!
This time!"
We're playing Minecraft again, guys! It's been a million fucking episodes and in no way is that depressing! It's so much fun! I'm dead inside!
To the most introverted people who isolate themselves, a chance to pick up the game and play in a style that suits them. But that only explains that the game can be played by anyone. Next time!
I'll suck for a like!
What is there to do in the game? Well, mostly it's a game of collecting resources and building. You build and you build and you build some more. There doesn't seem to be anything other than build things and avoid monsters. That is if you're ready to face the monsters. You can even toggle an option to remove the threat of monsters in-game until you're ready for the challenge. Speaking of the monsters, or mobs as they're known, what a weird selection you've got, from bats and spiders on the understandable end of the spectrum to zombies, skeletons, and bizarrely a thing called a creeper that sneaks up on you and blasts you to smithereens. But what the fuck does this have to do with the story, and how can I tie all these loose ends up, and what is it with this fucking music? It sounds like something you'd expect to hear in a mental ward as some way of keeping the detainees, I'm sorry, I mean the patients, subdued. You know the music I'm talking about, designed to hold you in emotional neutral gear, while that familiar sound that could be a nursery tune from your childhood holds you in a childlike mindset. Now, in the olden days, this measure was used just to maintain the peace and allow the orderlies to avoid getting shit flung at them. But today we realise that music is a vital part of a person's therapy. It's proven to manage stress levels, alter moods, and even stimulate positive interactions. Music therapy, alongside other types of treatment, is used for a multitude of mental health problems, from degenerative disorders like Alzheimer's disease to things like substance abuse and more. Just listen to it, it stirs emotions of melancholy and hope simultaneously.
Gay!
And it does have that vibe of being nursery music played to a young child. Before you say, Roley, I'm playing my bullshit card, just put it back in your pocket 1 minute, cowboy. Just look at what we've already seen. Minecraft is basically a game of digging and investigation. You dig trees, you dig sand, you dig rock, all the time digging into this world you inhabit, collecting pieces like Lego blocks to rebuild the world as you see fit. If you want to never progress further than this, then you don't have to. You can stay in this comfortable world, safe in the knowledge you can't be hurt here. For those who are up to the task of facing the mobs, you'll start to understand what each mob represents in your psyche. The bats and spiders are a primeval hang-up that we've had from our childhood, of things that don't behave the way we'd expect. The skeleton's an obvious reference to past mistakes you've made coming back to haunt you. The mindless zombies represent the mindless public who exist around you, incapable of understanding you and your problems. Then we have the creeper. Now, you could say the creeper represents any mental disorder, but for me, the creeper represents depression. The way he sneaks up on you silently, then blows your whole world apart. This can make you feel like giving up, having all your hard work destroyed. But if you overcome this sense of loss and keep building, you eventually face your greatest challenge, the Ender Dragon. Without knowing it, you've been chasing the dragon this whole time, and you finally confront it and defeat it. For those of you who don't know the term chasing the dragon, it's a drug reference. The dragon in question is an opiate drug. Unfortunately for people, it gives an amazing high. It doesn't take long before you get addicted to feeling that way. The only problem is, you need it more and more to obtain that same level. The more addicted you become, the more you'll do anything to obtain that high again. This includes lying, cheating, and stealing, even from those closest to you. This is where the comparison comes from. The more you screw people over, the more you hurt those around you in your selfish pursuit. The more drugs you put in your body, the closer you get to the dragon, each time getting closer and closer to death. These mobs are all used as metaphors. In fact, the whole game is one big metaphor to illustrate the hidden story of mental health issues and substance abuse. And just in case some of you don't know what a metaphor is, I've enlisted Big Bird from Sesame Street to explain.
Hello kiddies, a metaphor is a figure of speech in which a word or phrase is applied to an object or action that is not literally applicable, thus making an implicit comparison. For example, remember that fine ass bitch from last night? I was up here like a rat up a drain pipe.
Just as a side note, that CGI creation you just watched cost over £12,000 to make, but hey, that's the price you pay if you want realism. So there you have it, what's looked over as a 3D pixelated bullshit child's game, exclusively played by screaming YouTubers desperate to become the next biggest online babysitter, is actually a dark tale of one man's battle with mental health problems and substance abuse. Case closed. You've really got to give it to Notch. He created a game that dealt with such a taboo subject matter in such a brilliant way. I mean, Microsoft bought the rights for about £1.5 billion, and I doubt they even have a fucking clue what it's about. But hey, that's what we do here on this channel. We dig a little deeper to find the things you may not see. So join me next time as we dig a little deeper into another mystery. Okay, you're still watching. This is a little bit uncomfortable, I'll be honest. You know I did my outro sign off, right? So we're done. Okay then. So if you're watching now, that tells me one of two things. You've either come to play your bullshit card, or you're intelligent. I mean, seriously, you're not going to take some random stranger's word that what he says is true, even after I proved CJ from GTA San Andreas was Franklin's dad, or when I told you that Courier 6 from Fallout New Vegas was an android. Okay, then I'll give you that final proof you needed, and maybe you won't doubt old Roley again. So know that this far into the video, I'm talking to you, smart person, who understands all the references I've mentioned in-game as metaphorical comparisons. You also understand this isn't written down anywhere, so won't be blatantly spelled out for you. You partially believe what I say to be true, you just need a little more before you're totally convinced. Well, for this proof you need, we're going to turn our attention to the Minecraft creator himself, Markus Persson, or as he's better known, Notch. These are excerpts from an interview with Notch done by American business magazine Forbes. In the interview, Notch speaks of his early life as an introvert that would escape reality by going into his computer's virtual world. He even mentions how after the split up of his parents, his father abused alcohol and became addicted to amphetamines. His sister also experimented with drugs before she ran away from home. And there you have it, all the evidence you need. Notch drew on his life experience to weave the Minecraft world, full of references from the things that happened around him, with you playing as the only inhabitant of this pixelated land. Now, I'm not saying you're playing as Notch, rather you're playing as a generic person using the same escape of games to confront your real-world problems, or not. It is, after all, your choice. So remember, when you go telling the world about Minecraft's dark story, you watched it on Roley's channel. And I'll see you next time. She'll have it like that.